y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today and do not disappointing products, but products I regret buying for one reason or another. And I'm going to just jump right into this. I'm going to start with things that I don't have in my possession. I'm not including many that I returned. One I do want to mention is that was very disappointing to me. It's very recent, and that is the Huda foundation. It was horrible on me. By the end of the day, and I did a video on it, by the end of the day, I looked like I had the swine flu. It started out real matte, and then it was patchy pretty quick after a couple of hours, and then seriously, I broke out in just an oil slick. It was horrible for me. I really can't even be positive about that foundation. But I'm going to get more positive from here on out. I'm starting with the worst one. Then I just returned this, so it's on my mind. I ordered the Viseart Golden Hour. I was so excited about that, y'all. And I immediately returned it. I only used it once. It had fallout, which I would have dealt with. I didn't think it blended like my Viseart mattes. I have all four of the Viseart mattes. I love these. I was super excited to try that, and I did not care for it. I used it once, but it had massive fallout. It didn't blend out that great. I was like, no, I have those colors in other palettes if it's not going to act like a Viseart. The Diffuse Light, and I'll tell you why. This is a really light powder with a yellow undertone, and I bought it for under the eyes, and I like a straight white under the eyes. I like my Secret Brightening. If I'm going to carry one with me, I like the MAC. A finishing powder, and it's white. This would be good for me to carry, but just a pressed under the eye powder that's not stark white. I don't think it brightens enough. That is my probably lone opinion. I regret every setting spray I have ever bought because they all irritate my eyes. The only one that I can take sometimes is the MAC Prep and Prime. I don't regret this one because I also spray my brushes with it to get a better pigment. I will always keep this around. I should not be buying setting sprays. They just irritate my eyes too much. And I spent quite a bit on the Cover FX mattifying. Did not really care for that. I would try it again, spray it on a beauty blender because I heard it's real good. But I can't find it. Now I've lost it. I have a daughter and a lot of her friends come over here. My use-ups go pretty quick with a teenager in the house. I regret buying the xoxoxo contour brush because, and even when I was about to start taping this and I was pulling products, I was just looking at the tops and I pulled this one out thinking it was the xoxoxo. Now they're not identical. This is a Morphe. I probably paid about $6 for it, and I paid about $26 for this. I just don't think it's worth the expense. I don't notice anything about this that's just so special. It's not a bad brush, but not that special either for a contour brush. I pick up Real Techniques more than I pick up this. The next ones. I bought the entire Wayne Goss eye brush set. I would not do that again. Now, there are two brushes in here that I would buy separately that I don't think are like any cheap brush I have, and that's the 16 and 17. Because they are fat blending brushes with a stiff point on the end, and these are so nice. I pick the 16 up all the time. I love this brush. It gets right in that crease, but blends. I probably need to do it right now. I pick it up just about daily. Worth the $30 to me. This one I might, because it's pointy and stiff and I just like it. The 16 and 17, I love these. But I could have gotten these two brushes for $60, which is still exorbitant, but you know, on a day when I want to splurge, I'd do it. Any of these could be any other brush. That one particularly, this one, is a lot like the MAC 221, which they're about the same price, the 20. These could be any Morphe brush to me. And this flat wide one, I gave that away in my clean out. That was a Morphe. They have a Morphe just like that for probably $3 or $6. I would not buy these three brushes. The 16 and 17, those are the Wayne Gosses I would get. So I regret buying that whole kit. This is a total regret, y'all. And I thought about this for a long time. It was not an impulse purchase, and that is the La Mer brush. I try and try and try to love this brush. I just don't. I don't pick it up. Over this one, I prefer my MAC 150. I love this brush. I use it daily. This is my really holy grail powder. I love it. Right behind that, a little bit, is the e.l.f. Total Face. I love this. I've had this in many videos, and I use this mostly to powder over skincare to take away the tacky. So these are the two brushes I would get. The La Mer, I just kind of don't get it. Look how pretty that is. I'm not throwing it away. I like looking at it. And I occasionally make myself use it. I just don't like it that much. I really regret that purchase because it was $80. I regret, and I have tried not to, I regret the Prism Mule. I do. Now, it's not because of any blendability issues or texture issues or pigmentation issues. I can't get a full look with this. And I was going to save it for the holidays and use those shimmers and for the holidays. I'm not even going to do my holiday look with this for my video. I just can't get a good look going with it with just this palette. I've seen people do beautiful looks with this, but for me, it just is not, it's just not a great, I get it out all the time because I use the Modern Renaissance and the Subculture all the time. I get this out and I do use it. I should not have bought this palette. It's just not real user friendly. It's just not. And no more shimmers than I use. I regret that one. The Luxie Cap. I just had this in my travel video. I used it over Thanksgiving. You need 2 or 3 of these to travel with, and they're kind of bulky to travel with. If this was wider, I might need a wider cut because if you put one flat, if I can't travel with the La Mer, that's it. That's all that's going in there without it being mashed down. When you put the lid on it, it catches the sides. It catches the sides of it and it will mash your brush down. Even my 250 was pushing it. You need several of these. And so that's kind of bulky to travel with. I'm not going to buy any more Luxie Caps, I'll tell y'all. And I wanted to put this in this video real fast because I just had this in my travel video. Used it, it's okay. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll even travel with it. I don't know. I may give it to my daughter. I like my Artful Traveler brush roll. I think you can get these for $20 at Sephora. I like this better. I think it's friendlier to my brushes. Never mashes them down. Every brush I have fits in it. It rolls up nice and compact. I put it in my carry-on, done. And I know my brushes are squeezed in there with all the hairs. All my hairs are going to stay good on my brushes. I can squeeze it. It can get mashed around. My brushes are good in my Artful Traveler. And I only need one of these. This carries every brush I need. I regret buying my purse in, and I've traveled with this one time, and it's already dirty. This is too fussy for me. It's not a bad product. It was an expensive product. This was $50 or $75. You open it, I don't have the bags in it anymore. It's got those little bags that go right here. Well, let me tell you, I've discovered what I do with those bags. I pull them out and I put them in my bag because I don't want to be opening this and then going through. I'm too used to the Ziplocs, y'all. Throwing those in my bag and then just pulling out Ziplocs. So that's how I use those. Again, not a bad product. And you might love this. I thought I would. It doesn't really have enough space for all my brushes, even on an overnight. That's not enough space for all my brushes, but I travel with a lot of brushes. I don't have my bags in here anymore. I have my bags loose in my carry-on in there. I would not spend $50 on this. I tell y'all what my favorite was. That whole trip was my $7 TJ Maxx, just cosmetic bag. It was a nice size. You know, I just like stuff you can just toss in there. I regret buying not the product, but an excessive amount of the Hourglass blushes because these are beautiful and I use them pretty daily now. But I have about 6 of these. These last forever because they're more of a blush topper unless you go real pale. And every color kind of is pretty similar. Just a couple of these in the travel sizes. I did not need to spend $200 in Hourglass blushes. I don't regret my excessive amount of foundations. They're all different, but these were all so similar and I overbought. So I do recommend the product, but really 1 or 2 of these. You don't need every color. You only need 1 or 2 of these and it will do the job because it really acts more as a tinted highlighter. is how I would explain it. I highly regret the Pirates of the Caribbean. Anything packaged like this, I have learned, I do not pick up because I don't have a good place to store it. But a kit like this, I just don't use. So I regret buying this, and that's not really my color of blush. Plums don't look great on my coloring. So, not that this is bad. I'm looking at it right now thinking, maybe I love that. Still won't use it. I won't use it. So that was a waste for me. After that, I went ahead and bought more same color scheme of the Beauty and the Beast. And I bought this, and I also bought the eyeshadow palette that my daughter gave to one of her friends because I never used it. I was big on Lorac, though. At that time, I wanted anything Lorac I could get my hands on. So I bought this, and I never use it. And I keep it in my desk. I got it out of my clean outs because I thought, I'm going to use that. And I put it right here on my desk. I still never pick it up. I never use this. Same with that big eyeshadow palette. It just was shaped wrong. It's too big to even go in my rotation. It's like moving a dictionary. After further use of this Collagen Genius Alginist Collagen, I'm convinced that this causes me to have little pimples. I use this very sparingly on forehead lines because if it gets down here, I get little white bumps almost overnight. So I've had this forever, a couple of months, and that's all I've used. And I wish I had not purchased this. It was $150. And it is not doing enough for me. I use a lot of less expensive products that do a lot more, that I'm happier with. I'm not seeing a lot of change on the forehead lines where I am using it, and it causes breakouts in other areas. So I regret buying this, but I know some people have had amazing results with that. Those are some of the products that I regret buying. I'm sure there's a lot more that I returned and, you know, just didn't think of because I did do a lot of shopping this year. But those are the real standouts for me of things that I really, you know, kind of regret buying. Again, most of them are not bad products. I just can do better cheaper, or they just didn't work for me. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.